Okay, we're back. We're back. I'm still like a teensy-weensy bit sick, but obviously, more up to par. I feel like I have a lot to say about last episode, but I kind of just want to get started. I am wearing black because I fear that, these last two episodes are not going to be, kind to me. And, I'm in mourning, I guess. I'm expressing my grief, and, you know, it's just going to be rough for CONRAD girlies, which is okay. It's okay. Everyone goes through it. It's the process. It's the circle of life. But I'm scared. All that being said, I'm terrified. So let's get into it.
What are you doing here?
She doesn't even remember.
Party, it just happened. We came here for Susanna.
Stop it! I can't stand to hear you use her as an excuse one more time.
You can't stand me, period.
Oh, come on! We are not doing this here, let's go!
Never even
Ooh. Yeah.
Belly!
Laurel, that's an absolute no. Oof. I know she feels bad about it. I'm not trying to, but it's just such a hard... It always happens in fucking TV shows. Literally always happens in TV shows. I don't know. I mean, I'm used to parental physical abuse, but that was recurring. Like, I don't know that it ever really happens once and it was like a mistake. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
It's not just about you, Belly.
Yeah.
Conrad and I are...
Okay, I respect you for that introspection. And that self-awareness.
Don't defend him.
This is rough because they have the best friend dynamic too.
Whatever you think you saw last night, you're wrong.
Sure.
There is nothing left between
I have
me
to
and
laugh.
Conrad.
There'll always be something between you and Conrad.
He said it, not me. Okay. This party was a... I understand, but like... Y'all.
Me and I drive all night to find this.
Yeah,
I'm just glad your mom isn't here to see what you guys did to her house.
it's really bad.
Conrad had to find out from a for sale sign in the front yard.
I just assumed they resolved it before Susanna.
Okay, look-y, everyone's
Conrad, does
acting
your dad
this
know?
episode.
But like you said, at least my mom's not here to see it.
Oof.
I've been trying to...
Try harder then.
Oof, my god. She's great, by the way. Also, she's 62? Make that make sense to me. I literally thought she was like 40. She's great. She's really good. All her acting is really good.
I shouldn't have hit you.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
I never did that before.
You should never hit your kids under any circumstances whatsoever.
I should have been there for you.
Laurel.
Or let somebody be there for me.
Therapy. Okay?
Do you forgive me?
Oh my god, wait, no, I can't be doing this. I can't be on the verge of tears. Okay, living for this episode so far, the acting is good. All the characters are being likable. We'd love to see it.
Let me get the keys.
That's a big
Okay, so I
leap of trust.
He's obsessed with me, if that's what you're asking.
Classic.
We both know I'm not talking about your mom. Oh, I want to make sure that you're looking after your own heart, not just theirs, you know?
So true.
Joe, high octane premium, the good stuff.
Girl!
I was terrified
Could they
of
become
water.
friends, maybe? Maybe they can bond over Susanna's death or after Susanna's death.
That's where I found out that her cancer had come back and that she wasn't
Yeah,
gonna
that's
make it.
rough.
My dad married my stepmother 6 months after he left my mom, and all but abandoned us, and every summer before shipping me off to cousins. I never wrote her back. I never said goodbye. I tried to get on the plane for the funeral.
It's gonna make me
I had a
cry.
ticket, but I just couldn't do it. God, I wish I tried harder to fix things with her. It's not too late for that.
Where's our BellyConrad scene?
Decided to pull
I feel
on
it brewing. It must happen.
Yes.
Here it is. Here it is. Knew she was coming. Chivalry is alive.
Honestly, last night was, kind of a blur. Whatever I said.
You're right.
Not her pulling that same card.
Last night, you and I almost kissed.
Did we?
I was pretty wasted. I don't really remember much.
I never should have ended things like that. And the fucked up thing is I thought I was doing the right thing by you.
You were going through a lot.
But that is no excuse.
Oh my god, he looks tortured.
And I hate the thought of you looking back on the night that we spent here together and regretting what we did.
Of course it hurts to think about that night. But I don't regret it. I don't regret any of the times we were together. I loved you. And I know you loved me too.
If I could go back, if I could do things differently, I would.
Conrad, it's okay. I mean, we both hurt each other a lot.
And I don't ever want to hurt you again.
I don't want to hurt you again either. I mean, I don't know if it's something we can control, but we can try. Friends.
This is sick. This is sick and twisted. Love that they communicated about last night and about them having sex. I was really hoping that they weren't gonna just like ignore that or act like it wasn't a big deal or it wasn't a thing. But it's very interesting, the concept of I'd never want to hurt you again.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I had my first kiss.
Really?
Whatever. Of course. Who? I can't kiss and tell, Mom.
I'll keep it a secret.
Wow.
Oh my god, this is adorable. I can't lie, this is adorable.
Whales? What?
Yeah, fucking Adam.
Hello?
Fucking loser ass Adam!
So I made you breakfast for lunch.
Brunch, otherwise known as brunch.
How you like it?
Yeah, thanks for coming all this way to back me up.
Girl,
You haven't been making it easy on me.
Oh, I'm not here to
the
back you up.
audacity of this
Back
man.
up the boys. You can't let them lose. I'm not making you out to be anything. I'm trying to help you.
Let someone else try to solve a problem for once. It's gonna dissolve this.
Okay, he kind of clocked your tea, Conrad. I can't lie. Can't lie, he got you with that.
Adam.
No, shut up,
listen to
Laurel.
me.
You don't have a vote, okay? I know Sue's made you feel.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Where do you get off saying shit like that?
Excuse me, but fuck you.
Okay, all right.
I thought it would be better this way. Easier for everyone if we let this place go.
Easier
Yeah,
for
I was
you?
gonna say easier for you.
Being here is hard. It's hard. She's everywhere here.
Love that this is happening now, but it's like, why couldn't this have been a conversation? Genuinely. I guess because it's like he would need to pay for it and he would probably hardly ever be there. But again, like, think of your sons. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Good, let's have a moment between them.
But I should have paid more attention. I should have looked harder. I'm sorry.
I don't want to be that guy anymore.
God.
You know, like always smiling whether he's happy or not.
You shouldn't have to. It's good growth, good learning. Conrad barely even smiles when he's happy, so, you know, do what you want.
You know, if something comes to mind, we say it, and whether it hurts or pisses each other off.
Okay, this is a little bit more complicated than that, but I guess you're moving in the right direction, for sure. Proud of you, boys.
Nearly
I
impossible
know
when I'm up to speed,
where
let
this is
alone
going.
now. Then it's possible. Come on.
And black is a fitting color.
And we'll get you ready for it.
That's all I'll say.
No problem.
That's all I'll say.
You don't look at me like that. Look at you like what?
Cute, love them being playful. Oh, this whole episode just made my heart full, and I know it's just gonna tear it out in a second, but, you know.
Stop on Susanna could be.
Through and through.
I like them having a little friendship, too.
Happy. You're not getting rid of me forever. Your wicked Aunt Julia is still just a phone call away.
Parting gift.
Thank you, Conrad, my dear sir.
You really don't have to do this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you made me proof your essay 5 times.
No, I didn't. No, I did. I did.
I want to help.
Okay.
This will be the last thing I do for Conrad Fisher.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Get him to Stanford. Once he's there, maybe we can finally let each other go.
Girl, if you're gonna be his friend, you're gonna... Like, if you're gonna be in each other's lives, romantic or not, you're gonna be doing things for each other. Belly is misguided. Belly.
Good morning, Bells.
Okay.
What else do I get?
What do you give me if I do?
Cheeseburgers.
With his messed up hair?
Thank you.
Him saying that to her?
Seriously.
Give me a break.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, next question.
I'm embarrassed. I was caught in 4K. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, come on, Jer. Time to get up.
Love Belly being the wrangler.
Come on.
Where?
Dance breaks are essential small nighters.
I don't do that.
Yes, you do.
Tell me they do some of their Shaq choreography.
I never would have pictured that.
Party in the USA choreography.
I think she'd approve.
Oh my god.
This feels pretty.
And it's
magical
Belly
to
that's
me.
keeping the magic. Women. Are we gonna get another scene with them? I can't lose. BellyConrads can't lose. I'm sorry. Blame them. They're the ones who just keep giving us wins. Okay.
Venus is still an evening star.
Shut
Some kind of
your
hope or
mouth,
something.
Conrad. I have heard enough out of you.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to get another chance, you'll do everything you can not to fuck
I wish that was a wall so I could jam my head into it. He's gonna be fucking asleep. Classic.
I need to tell you something.
Classic. She does have such a soothing voice. I listened to the third book with her narration. It's so nice. I too fell asleep to the lulling of her voice. Make it a flashback? I was gonna say, we barely had any scenes with them. And so much of the first season with so many scenes of them.
Almost.
I know these outfits.
Need to do one more thing.
Cheese.
Love it.
Okay.
You want to see?
Okay, Belly.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay.
He just had to have that conversation about her mooning over Conrad. He just had to.
Seriously. You gonna tell her?
No, he's gonna be about to tell her. He's gonna be like getting his infinity necklace ready.
I mean, I want to.
And then I know what happens in the
days
book.
ago,
That's all I'll say.
I would've
I know what's coming.
Thought you guys could use some caffeine for your drive to Brown.
Are you serious?
You should finish what you started. That doesn't mean you're off the hook for lying to me repeatedly. There will still be consequences.
Here, Laura.
But I'm proud of you. I know Beck would be too.
Thanks, Mom.
This is tying up a lot of loose ends.
Jer, Conrad, I'm coming with you.
We're doing a full circle moment. I knew they were gonna have a scene alone.
Trust your gut. That's all I'm saying in every regard.
Steven is matchmaker. I love him for that. He's a king for that. He's my favorite character for that. He just went up 10 points in my book.
Wow. How cool.
Belly flop.
No.
No, we don't have time. No.
Can we?
Take off the shoes, please. Like, the thought of shoes and so- Oh, and jeans! Getting wet? I can't even enjoy this scene because that's just horrifying. He's a runner, he's a track star, damn.
I'm just saying that the towel wouldn't kill you.
How can I not love him when it's like, he's being like that? Like, I'm just like, you're such a little, like, stupid nerd. I love you. So wholesome.
Just need like. Oh, thank you.
I don't like how much of her behavior she's altering to make Jer feel good. Do you know what I mean? or how much, like, she's trying to hide a connection, or, and not even a romantic connection, but just any kind of tie between them two. Because she doesn't want to upset Jer. And even, like, actively changing things that she's doing, ways that she's reacting, things that she's saying to appease him. When it's not, it's just not, like... it's not authentic. Okay, alright, period. We got karaoke. Oh, he got that falsetto again?
Fucking idiots.
We got another Belly jamming out in the car scene. We love to see it.
Can't believe you remembered.
Onward. Alright, so these are the dorms.
I've accepted my fate, you know? it is what it is. Not the duck face. She's doing it again. She's literally deliberately looking at him in a picture so that he can look at that picture and go, oh, she's mooning over me now. She's chosen me now. I don't know, girl. I don't know. Like, if he hadn't said that, I don't know she should be doing that. And that's not necessarily a bad indication of, like, her feelings for him either, but it's just, like, obvious that there's an overcompensation for trying to prove herself to him, which I don't love.
I'd like to see you play here, too.
See, this is a little better to me. I still don't love it because I just don't, I'm not a Jeremiah girl, but talk about it at the end, but the earnest delivery there is much more up my alley than whatever happened last episode.
Are you ever gonna give me a second chance?
Belly, if I fall for you again, I don't think I can take it if you change your mind like last time.
I wouldn't.
See, that's a good line. Objectively.
It's different now.
So much better than all the other ones.
You and I mean, we're not the same people we were. We grew up.
Sure? But I don't like this music.
Dreams.
This is something I forgot to get into in the discussion, but something I've noticed a pattern here is that all of Belly and Jer scenes are scored by really kind of like bounce chicka wow wow music, like very kind of like sultry, sexy, bedroom kind of music, which I think is really interesting because, again, I think it just reaffirms my conjecture that they're kind of going for a more sexual, physical attraction angle.
I want you.
Belly.
You still.
Yes. Yes, I still.
Jeez. Okay, so thoughts on that episode. It was a very heartwarming episode. Tied up a lot of loose ends really well. Had a lot of full circle moments. It's all coming together nicely, especially for that to be the penultimate episode. Like, everything's wrapping up well. Yeah, actually, like, really surprisingly emotional. Like, I got emotional at pretty much... Girl, not me, like, almost crying at a fucking Adam scene. You know, like, I'm like, okay, there's so much that I, like, never know where to start. But I'll be completely honest, I like this episode more for them. Like, again, and I don't like it for them, but, like, if I am gonna have to see it, I prefer this to the whatever happened last, because I think the delivery, the delivery of, you don't have to hurt yourself to get my attention, just really icked me out, like, really. It's, like, and I don't think, I tried to imagine CONRAD saying that, and I literally couldn't, because when I imagined CONRAD saying that, it was, like, a very different delivery. Like, I could not see CONRAD saying it the way that Jeremiah said it. I could see CONRAD saying it in a very earnest way, of, like, you always have my attention. Like, that, I can see that. And that, I'm like, oh my god. And not even just because it's CONRAD, but because of a more earnest, honest, maybe vulnerable delivery, because I just really don't... When I get the vibe that guys, like, know that they're super attractive, and then, like, play that up It just really grosses me out. And that's what that scene was. And they whisper, like, I'm sorry. It just, it's not even Jeremiah specific. Like, genuinely, like, I just don't like that vibe. I'm sorry, but it reminds me of some of the actors' TikToks where I'm just like, I will not be attracted to a guy if they are so, like, if I feel like they're full of themselves. Or, because I also think it's just very, like, it feels very, like, misogynistic and patriarchal to me somehow, of a control thing. In general, the knowingness of guys being like, oh yeah, you're obsessed. Like, I don't know. The way that I could see Conrad delivering that would never be that. Would never be the, like, cheeky, flirtatious, like, sly, sexy, like, thing. It just wouldn't. Like, he would just say it in an earnest way. And that's so much more hot to me. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that Conrad doesn't have, like, moments of, like, feeling himself a little bit. Or that that's, like, completely wrong. Everyone feels themselves a little bit, from time to time. Love that, we should. But if it's a habit, and if it's, like, that intense, I'm not gonna be gagging. Well, I'm gonna be gagging, but not in a good way. So, I actually liked the dialogue better from Jeremiah because everything was delivered in a more earnest way this episode. I'm really trying hard to understand Belly. I was under the impression that, like, she really didn't feel anything, but, like, she's doing so much that to me, I'm like, okay, so what it's giving to me, in my opinion, what it's giving is she really misses Jer as a person in her life and as a best friend. She loves him and misses him. She feels like she needs him. She feels bad about the way that things went down. She likes that he likes her, and she knows that he likes her. And I almost think there's an element of the way that Jeremiah's been acting towards Belly, which I'm not saying is not justified because, yeah, I mean, the whole thing got super messy. Like, of course he's justified to be hurt and to be, like, to have his guards up, to not be so willing to, like, jump back into it. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him doing that. But the dynamic that it creates, I don't think is good for Belly because it feeds into, like, low self-esteem and low self-worth. And Jeremiah, again, whether he knows he's doing this or not, he also reinforces that a lot. He's always talking about, Conrad treated you like garbage. Conrad dumped your ass. Like, Conrad thinks you're nothing. I could have told you Conrad's gonna break your heart. Like, all that type of stuff. And he's reinforcing this really kind of negative annotation to their relationship, to Conrad, and to her as a person, while also propping himself up as I wouldn't treat you that way. But by making it so abundantly clear that he thinks that, you know, Conrad thinks she's just, you know, nothing. I feel like it's making her think that this is the right course. And I also think she is hurt by a lot of the stuff that happened with Conrad, and she feels like Jeremiah is a safer option, which he is, despite all the, like, growth that Conrad's done, and honestly all the healthy communicating that they have done. They've done a lot of unhealthy miscommunication, but there's been a lot of, like, mature conversations between Belly and Conrad this season. I also think it's, like, a thing of, like, kind of what Jer was saying, where he's like, I can't go through it again. Belly, I don't think she thinks she can go through it again. Like, she just can't. It was too heartbreaking for her. Like, she can't even fathom the idea of trying to do it with Conrad again, just because there's a chance that it won't work out again, and that will be devastating to her. I think there's something in that dynamic that Jeremiah's created where it's like she's having to jump through hoops, and I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not saying he's wrong to do it. I understand why he's doing it, and I don't think it's, like, totally, like, malicious and he's like, haha, my evil plan. But the behavior pattern and the pattern that it's creating is Belly constantly feeling the need to prove herself to Jeremiah, constantly needing to appease Jeremiah, constantly needing to, you know, do all these things to get Jeremiah's approval and attention because he's withholding it from her. And that's another thing that I just don't think Conrad does. He's never withheld approval from her. He's never really been that way towards her. And again, I just think it's just a negative, like, spiral for Belly. Like, and then she starts to feel like, oh, well, he doesn't so I need to work harder. And so, like, you know, you want what you can't have, that type of stuff. Like, there's a lot of psychological things that are going on. And also, I will say, I don't think they have romantic chemistry, but I can see a sexual sort of chemistry. I can see that. And I like that angle a lot more than romance, because once you add the feeling like Jeremiah's always been the safer choice, loving how much she's being loved by him, feeling the need to prove herself to him, wanting to get over Conrad, loving him as a person and as a friend, and wanting him desperately in her life. And I also think there's an element of she might think that the only way to have him in her life is to be with him romantically. Again, whether that's conscious or not, I don't know, but he's almost kind of given that vibe off. Once you add all of those things to her finding him physically attractive and them having a physical chemistry and connection, it do be making sense. Like, it does make sense. The thing is, she doesn't love him like that, but she loves him as a person, and then I think she also finds him attractive. And then there's also the added benefit of him being the safer choice, and then there's also the element of her really needing to prove herself towards him this past season. I just think it's a, you know, brewing chaos the entire time, and, you know, it was a good recipe for it. Like, it's a recipe for disaster. I don't know, she's going into her denial and delusion era, which I don't love. I don't love that for her. I don't love that for anyone. I just have a hard time, like, buying, I guess, that, like, there's genuine romantic love between her and Jeremiah. Even if there is, like, we know where this ends up. So it's just a, like, oh, girl. Did we really have to go through this? Do we have to put everyone through this again? It's just so unfortunate for literally everyone. It's such a mess. Everyone was pretty likable. I think also it was pretty, I don't know, everyone was on their game this episode. Like, everything was pretty convincing. I could buy into, you know, most all of it. That kiss at the end was intense. But I think, again, the fervent, frantic nature of it is, again, pointing to an angle that I like and that I can see, which is that kind of sexual magnetism or whatever, that attraction, that compatibility that's there. And so while I don't get romantic chemistry from them, like, I can see that angle. And I like it, and I think it's smart. Because it's like, I mean, it's easy to mistake, like, love if, like, you love someone as a person, and y'all are, like, besties, and then you also are attracted to them. It's like, yeah. If 2 + 2 = 4, you know? So I see how all that can kind of be happening. I just also refuse to believe that, like, Belly is actually, like, over CONRAD or really thinks that she's over CONRAD, or... I don't know. Maybe I'm imposing my own experience on her, and that's not fair. But I don't know. When you love someone like that, it's just not... It's not that simple to get away from. And I'm glad they addressed the sex, because, like, I was getting a little annoyed with them not addressing it. Oh my god, I can just see in my head, like, Jeremiah finding out about that and just absolutely going apeshit, and then, like, maybe even, like, saying something, like, you know, slut-shaming about Belly. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know, I can just see a world where that happens, you know? Yeah, that's a big thing, and I didn't love that, like, it wasn't being talked about or acknowledged or acted like it wasn't a big thing, especially for Belly, who is romantic, who that isn't something that, like, she takes lightly, and that she did with CONRAD, who she's loved her entire life. Like, come on. Like, let's be for fucking real here. Like, like, he's been inside you. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, be for fucking real. Like, you don't feel that he, give me a break. No, I'm sorry. I know this is probably annoying, but I don't buy it. So she's probably doing that, like, just for self-preservation, which, relatable. Another thing that I liked, I really liked the way that they wrapped up the kind of Aunt Julia storyline, and I have to say that as someone that's gone through similar things, similar circumstances, that shit is traumatic. Okay? So I completely understand where she's coming from. Like, I understand. And I always knew, I mean, I was always pretty much like, she must have a good reason for this, or, you know, it must be understandable. And there were several reasons that made sense, and that were proportional to the way that things played out. Well, I think Belly almost tells on herself, because her saying this is the last thing I ever do for CONRAD is a very bizarre thing to, like, declare. And to feel the need to declare, like, to yourself, because obviously this is her inner monologue, so she's saying this is the last thing I'm doing for CONRAD ever. You know, it's like when Barry's like, starting now. You know what I mean? Like, it's that. And where I'm like, okay, sure, whatever you say. The fact that she felt the need to, like, declare that, to set that rule for herself, is bizarre, especially since they had decided on being friends. And also, regardless of whether they're, like, friends or not, like, they're family friends. They're lifelong friends. Like, they're always gonna be bonded and connected, and they just, like, fought to have the summer house. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna keep... CONRAD's not leaving her life, and she's not leaving his, even if they're not, romantically together. So the fact that she's, like, determined to, she's like, I'm never doing anything for CONRAD ever again, when he's still gonna be a part of her life, is bizarre, and doesn't make sense. And I think is telling on herself a little bit, because it's like, girl, because it's like, you do stuff for your friends. Like, what do you mean this is the last thing I ever do for CONRAD? Like, what? Laurel was great, aside from the slap, whew, that was rough. But she apologized, she felt bad about it. She just, and I get it, she's going through it, but never hate your kids. That's just never, ever. This one is so dark, but, like, I don't know if it's a common thing for a one-time abuse in parents, because all the abuse that I've known is just recurrent and incessant. So yeah, I don't know if that's a thing, if it's like a one-and-done thing for some people. I you know, I wouldn't know if it is. So let me know if that's a thing that happens. But everything else, aside from her hitting her daughter, loved. I love that actress. She's very good. I love the, like, give and take that's happening between the kids and the adults now, the learning, the growing that's happening, the kind of seeing the error of your ways and also helping another party to see the error of their ways. Like, I like all that stuff that's happening right now. It's really productive, it's really healthy, it's really mature, it's really good for everyone. Yeah, I like Jer and Conrad's conversation for sure. Their relationship's very complicated. Like, every relationship is just so complicated. So it's just lacking in their relationships to one another. I think one of the biggest things that just stands out as a difference to me, I just couldn't see Conrad ever feeling about Jer the way that Jer feels about Conrad. In a way of, like, so much hatred, so much anger, so much envy, or... I just couldn't see him say bad things about Jer, like Jer does all the time about Conrad. Every time, like, it's come up about them, Jeremiah and Belly being together, he wasn't like, he's gonna break your heart, or, you know, you shouldn't be with it, like, he's not a good guy for you. Like, he's been like, is that what you want? Do you want to be together? Like, I don't want, you know, to get in the way of that. You know what I mean? Like, he's just not the, he wouldn't be saying the types of things that Jared says about him constantly, about Jared ever. I can't see that. But his withholding information from Jeremiah, while it's well-intentioned, is not correct. It's not the right thing to do, and it's understandable why that's super frustrating. And that's something that he needs to work on. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's preferable that they communicate, even if they overshare, or they're overcorrecting. Oh, Conrad, walking in on that, it's just such a mess. And I really was sitting here convincing myself, I was like, they're gonna change it from the books, because, like, it'll just be better if they do. I was like, get Jared a new love interest, get Belly someone whose last name is not Fisher, and let's, like, you know, let people have good friendships and not ruin that, but, you know, this is a TV show, so. Him walking in on that, like, he wanted to confess his love, and he's coming to all these realizations and apologizing and taking accountability for his behavior and trying to change it, and then, you know, he sees that, and it's just like, oof. And because he's not so anti-Jeremiah, he's probably going to be like, I want Jeremiah to be happy, and I want Belly to be happy, so I'm going to let them be happy, and then just take it on himself, and then he's just suffering in silence. So, yeah, that's kind of the future we're heading towards. So I want to ask, like, Belly Jeremiah fans, like, do you think, and genuinely, and I'm genuinely asking this question, because to me, I just don't see it. Like, I'm just like, like, do you think there's, like, genuine love there? Or, like, and I'm not even saying on Jeremiah's part, I'm more saying on Belly's part towards Jeremiah. Like, what do you think's, like, going on there? Do you think it's confusion also? Like, what do y'all think? You know what I mean? Like, I'm genuinely trying to understand, like, do you feel like Belly really loves Jer, like, in a romantic way? Do you feel like it's confusion? Do you feel like she is over Conrad, really? Or is she lying to herself? Like, what do y'all think? I would love to hear from, like, Belly Jer people on that, what their opinion about that is. Oh, well, that's another thing. You know, I've been hearing about leaks, and I haven't actually read any of them or seen any of them. I just know that there are all these leaks that people know about, and people are saying that the last 2 episodes are especially bad for us, BellyConrad people. So I'm scared. I'm in danger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, whew. And I knew that was going to happen, him walking in on them kissing. Ugh. And yeah, that was not good. That was not good for me. And some people are saying, like, it's worse than the books. I'm like, I can't imagine what we have in store for next episode. I'm not looking forward to it. But the good news is that I'm sure I'll have a strong reaction. And, you know, I'm documenting that, and people can hate me for it, or, I guess, relate to me for it. And that's A-okay. We all have opinions. We all have reactions. It's all okay. But I will be reacting. Till next time.